Hi, Jillian.
Hey, Judge, how are you? May we approach for a plea? This is on Joshua Jones.
Hey.
Go ahead and sign for your Lisa.
I don't know.
Judge, he has been on supervision for a very long time. He's been compliant while on bond. He's sat in jail for what, several weeks, a couple weeks? He's been monitored. He's
Actions
had a
have consequences.
curfew.
He's got 2 open DWIs. Would
He'll
I?
have a suspended driver's license. He'll have 2 DWI convictions. The next one will be a felony. I think it's an appropriate resolution, Judge. He's been gainfully employed throughout this entire course of time.
What I was thinking is perhaps like a T-RAS to see if he really needs sober court, you know? This is just a basic slap on the wrist. Yeah, you'll have 2 DWIs on your record, but a slap on the wrist, people will go wrap their cars around the pole the next week. I've seen it all too much. You know, my concern is on a slap on the wrist, have we really addressed the issue that needs what's going on as to why it continues to happen?
Yes.
You know, oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
No, we haven't. The idea is, and I'm being Mr. Jones, you know, when you take the easy way out, or when you take a half-ass approach to something in life, you get a half-ass result, you know? Whereas when you do something meaningful, maybe you'll get a better result. You know, if therapy, we do a T-RAS and he does something like knocks their Aunt Connie socks off, perhaps it's only on 1 as opposed to 2. This, now, even the faintest smell of alcohol, you're looking at 2 to 10 in the penitentiary for the rest of your life. Don't matter where you go, don't matter what you're doing, don't matter what the circumstances are, you're looking at a 3rd-degree felony next time. And the problem is, have we really addressed the issue? Nope.
Once he wasn't enough.
Yes, prior pen trip too. Could be, next time could be a 15 to life. For the faintest smell of alcohol.
Have a previous TDC.
25 years ago.
Don't matter.
So that means if you get a felony, if you get another DWI, it's automatically a felony, like we talked about. And then it would be enhanced.
Something that happened 25 years ago to now, I feel like you understand and you know a person.
Well, that's not what he's saying. He's saying he's trying to describe what you would be initially charged with if you were to get another DWI. That's what would be the charge. That's what would be the consequences in the next circumstance. If it were to happen, which it's not. If that were to happen, that would be what you would be facing. That's all he's saying.
I totally understand
It's
it.
putting yourself in a pretty tight.
I'm putting myself in anything. I know exactly what happened, just like I know what happened 25 years ago. And I've changed my whole life because of it. Just like you said, I've been employed with the same company for 13 years, 14 years since I've been home.
Mr. Jones.
His GPS, he's working from sun up to sundown. I think that's what's keeping him out of, I think that's helpful. And I think he's been doing good all these months.
I agree. You have been. But you don't get rewarded for following the law. You know, we don't pat you on the back for following the law. The reward is you don't go to jail. But you have 2 open DWIs. You've got some history. The law never forgets. Ever. It doesn't matter if it's 10 years old. It doesn't matter if it's 20 years old. You know, the problem is in life, you never know what's going to happen that's going to throw you into a loop and going to cause you to do something that you wouldn't normally do. The problem is when you do, if you do, the law doesn't forget. So if you go out and have just a half a glass of wine and you get pulled over, what do you think's going to happen? What I'm trying to tell you is it could be a very, very lengthy prison sentence. And on a 15 to life case, the offers start at 10. That's my fear. Perhaps we could do something more worthwhile. I mean,
Because as far as the consequences of another DWI, if he were to be on probation, it'd still be a conviction. So they wouldn't change his consequences.
but if we do significant, like a TRAS, significant, like sober court-ish, and just on one, as opposed to two. What do you think of that versus this?
I can discuss it with him. We've kind of discussed it already, but we can discuss it again.
Even on one? I don't know if they'd be amenable to it, but
I can have a chat with them and my client.
Mr. Jones, I think this is a setup for failure, and I'm trying to prevent that from happening. The idea is to get to the root, get to the cause, figure out what's going on so we can deal with it. You can lie to me, but you can't lie to yourself, right?
Exactly.
At some point, something, and this is a setup for failure. I'm being honest. It is. Just see if he's amenable and go from there. Sure.
Mr. Jones?
We never did a TRAS in this case.
Let the judge know why you should be able to move forward with this. He's listening. What, like you told me outside?
Right.
Yes.
Judge Fleischer, I totally understand like what you said as far as dealing in regards to the overall outcome of the case in which you feel in the future you like to move forward. I understand exactly what I've done. I'm accountability of that, accept that.
What was a turning point for you that you told me about? Nothing. The last time you got arrested.
Something that I never wanted to put myself, like I
You
said,
said Judge Fletcher's words made you self-evaluate.
yeah.
Tell them that part.
It made me self-evaluate the outcome of what I want to do as far as with my life, not be
What have you done differently?
whatever I've done
What have
differently.
you done differently? Nothing. You've done absolutely nothing except just work. You've done nothing. So
Judge John, he expressed to me outside, I think he's just a little nervous. We talked about saying this to you directly. He expressed to me outside that the last time he got arrested and you said your words to him, he really went in the back. And when he was in custody that time, he really thought about like how he got here and what he needs to do moving forward. He reflected on his mother and when she passed and how when that time period came, he probably didn't grieve properly. And that's kind of how he started
and
drinking.
that's exactly my point.
But Judge, moving forward, I do agree, therapy is absolutely wonderful, but he has been going to AA or NA, and he does still go. And so he has taken those steps since that, and he is on that path now. And with working a job, and going to NA and dealing with his grief appropriately with the support of his family, with the support of his children, and having the pride and ability to provide for them has really put him in a good place. And these are not my words. This is exactly what he said to me outside when he wasn't nervous. I just really wanted you to hear it. And so I'm literally just articulating exactly what he
So
just
he's
told
in
me.
a PTI program. Did they kick him out because of the DWI, or they kick him out prior to?
That's why they removed him.
So here's what we're gonna do. I'm sending you for a drug and alcohol test right now. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system, and we'll go from there. But I want a complete full panel. I want to know everything, and we'll see. But I have a problem when we just give another proverbial slap on the wrist and just throw him out to the wolves with now 2 DWIs and with a prior pen trip. It's a recipe for disaster. And the problem is that, yeah, you're grieving over your mom, you do this, but at the end of the day, you've done nothing to address any potential issues that there may be, so that whenever there is another catastrophic event in your life, because there's going to be, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and it's going to happen. How are you going to cope with it? Are you going to do something? Are you going to go hit the bottle? Are you going to go hit something else even more hard? And then you're going to get in the car, you're going to kill someone? The idea is that you learn from these mistakes. You telling me that you've learned something? It's no. Everybody tells me there's little bunnies jumping in the woods. That's what everybody says because they're here now. What have you truly done to address the issue? That's what I want to know. And before we go forward on anything else, if I'm going to accept this, I want to send you for a drug and alcohol test now. Okay?
Okay, we'll do.
All right. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Oh, no. Hello. Good morning, Mr. Torres.
Morning.
Sir, you're charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated, first offense. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 1 year in jail to be probated for 12 months. Is this a true first?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
As part of the agreement, you will do a DWI education class, a victim impact panel, no breath test refusal, meaning if you're pulled over in a car, an officer asks you to submit a breath test, you must do it. If you fail to do it while you're on this probation, you're in violation of this agreement. Substance abuse treatment, no drugs, no alcohol, guardian interlock, 15 hours of community service, and a $100 one-time donation to Houston Food Bank. How old are you?
23.
Okay. Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fantastic. You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this, it's over. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
He's here on a bond violation, correct?
Yes, sir. He was supposed to have come to court yesterday and he didn't come, Judge.
Because of a bond violation, right?
I don't know about the bond violation, Judge. I think he just missed
Thought he
court.
had a bond violation. Let me see.
She's on the regular.
He failed to appear in his drug test. I'd like to send him now for a drug test. Is it possible?
After we take the plea out of jail, send it for a drug test, otherwise we'll have to wait on police.
If I find that you're using while you're on this probation, I will put you in a rehab facility. If you were unable to stop, then it's really not going to go well for you. And I'm telling you, if you end up going to a treatment facility, you will be there for a minimum of 6 months, if not longer, depending on how well you respond to treatment. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hear me loud, hear me clear, because after today, there's no more chances, Mr. Torres. If you fail to go to a drug test, if you fail to test, if you test positive, you will go into a treatment facility. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I am giving you the opportunity now to stop on your own. If you are unable to do it, we will do it my way, and you're not going to like it. The worst possible thing you can do is fail to show up for a meeting with your probation officer. If you ever have a problem, you could come here, we can talk about it, we can work it out. But if you pick up a new case, if you continue to test positive, it's really not going to go well for you.
Yes, sir.
Now, is it true or untrue that you had a 0.15 or above on this case? Breath test.
I'm not sure what it was.
It's true, Judge. I told him he had a 0.15,
Okay, so true, the enhancement.
151 and
So he also has an accompanying felony with this. Is that going to be dismissed as a result of this? Do you know?
I did not know he had a felony, Judge.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it was dismissed already earlier. All right, how do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty. I will follow the agreement. Do you work now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you must maintain full-time employment while he's on probation as well. All right, Mr. Torres, good luck. Well, I'm not asking much. All I want are my streets to be safe. If you endanger my streets, I have only one place for you.
Yes,
If
sir.
you violate this agreement, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You're facing 1 year in jail. If you fail to do your stuff on time, you test positive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good luck. We'll have you see the clerk.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. D.
You said 6 to 12?
Yeah, it would be 6:30 AM to noon and then 1:30 to 8.
I'm putting my name on this license. If I find that you consume alcohol, if I find that you do something that you're not supposed to, I will have a contempt hearing. Do you understand? I'm going to have you sign an affidavit that you're going to abide by all the conditions of this license. You're not to consume any alcohol. You're not to drive outside of the window, and it's for essential work purposes. No volunteer. It's not for this or for that, or someone had a baby and I'm going to, I don't care. This is for work and work only. Now, if you go to, when your case arises in Galveston, perhaps Galveston will do something different, but I want to ensure that my streets are protected because every single day someone dies from a DWI in our county. And you to do everything in my power to prevent it. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So it's for work purposes only. The hours are we're on at 6:30.
6:30 to noon and then 1:30 to 8 PM.
If I find that you're driving in between those times that you're not supposed to, I'm going to yank the license in a heartbeat. And I don't care what your excuses mean, absolutely nothing to me. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So from the 12 until 1:30, you're not to drive at all. And past the 8 o'clock, you're not to drive. And likewise, this isn't for weekend and notes, just for work. All right?
Yes.
Okay.
But if he has to work on the weekend, he's to provide proof to his officer prior to, right?
This isn't where you get to just, okay, I got to go to work. No, that you're just saying, we want proof. In this life, you're only as good as the proof that you have. If you don't have proof, you don't have dingus. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. So as far as the treatment is concerned, because treatment is one of the things that he has to do, we're going to have him TRAS'd because I don't know what we should do. I'm going to waive the fee so that he doesn't have to come out of his pocket, and we'll see what they say as far as what the appropriate treatment is, because I don't know him. I've never met him. So it would be foolish for me to just say, okay, do this. You know, what Shatoria suggested was have him do an DW education class, but that kind of hurts him because if in the Galveston case, he ends up doing something where he takes a subsequent DW education class, then they're going to suspend his license because it's subsequent. Whereas if it's a true first, if it's a true first and he does it, then they don't suspend his license. So that's why I didn't want to do an education class
Understood, Judge.
and why we did the TRAS.
We both did the TRAS. We'll
Okay.
work it.
Okay, good luck. sir.
Cooperate with the court.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Sure.